Welcome back to Seriously Funny. I'm your host, Mashnor Kabir, and I can't stop laughing. I don't know how funny I can be, but after talking about death last week and time the week before, we're all sad. So this is my semi-best attempt at being stupid. So on this special episode 69 of Seriously Funny, because 69, we spend 20 minutes talking ardently about chilling out. A real paradox, I know. I have no idea how loud my microphone was right there, but it's a lot closer to my mouth today than it usually is, and so if I'm louder, that's why. So, this is where we get a bit wild. This podcast has spent about 68 episodes talking about some very philosophical and deep stuff. We've talked about enlightenment, we've talked about death, we've talked about having uncomfortable conversations, being more confident, we've talked about medical stuff, mental illnesses, personality disorders, COVID-19 vaccines, and of course, sleep. This podcast is probably under the self-help, self-improvement, I do nothing with my life but want to feel like I'm not useless category. I've spent a lot of time in that category, so don't worry about it. I know how you feel. But now, looking at the title for this podcast, this episode, you know what I'm going to say. Life isn't that serious, and that's the point here. Look, I know what it means to say that, and some of you listening will vehemently disagree. Vehemently? Yeah, you get it. I think I said it right the first time. And that's fair. I know people that have been abused, that have had their houses set on fire, that have seen their lovers get shot in front of them, that have gotten brain tumors. I know a lot of people that have been through some pretty not fun things. And those things, again, aren't fun for sure. They all kind of suck. Actually, from what I've been told, to put it lightly, at least, they suck. It might be a little bit more than suck when you're going through it. But other than those extraneous situations, overall, most things in life are pretty chill. You failed a test, you broke your arm, you got dumped. It was really embarrassing because she said you had a small pee-pee and then dumped her bubble tea all over you when in reality you have a 1-meter Peter. Happens to the best of us. All of this happens, and it isn't that serious. I know it might feel like it's serious in the moment, at least, but hey, you can do better. On the next test, your arm will heal and you'll find another girlfriend. Maybe you'll just become a celibate monk. Who knows? Could go either way. Your call. Most things in life, to quote one of my homies, quote, ain't that big, end quote. Some things might be that big, sure, but usually it ain't that big. Things happen and life moves on. As we said a few episodes ago, the arrow of time marches forward. Sure, you can say every situation you've been in shapes who you are, but at the end of the day, it's a slow process, and most things won't affect you that much. Your senses take in about 11 million bits of information per second, but the brain only processes about 40 to 50 of those bits. Not much sticks. Like uncooked pasta, it'll just bounce off the wall, and you shouldn't bounce off the wall because tricks are for kids, you silly rabbit. Chill out. Jeez. Here's the thing. Very few things in life will cuck you so hard that you'll never be the same. Sometimes some things might. I've had people in my life die, and it affected me a lot. But at the end of the day, I'm here, I'm living, and I think about them from time to time, for sure. But at the end of the day, looking back, it seems like a faraway ripple. Man, that's way too deep for what I wanted this episode to be. That's the point here, though. Most things just aren't that big. They pass like rocks in a river, like clouds in the sky, like a wet dream. All things pass. Even that crush you have that will never work out because you're 20 light years out of your league, it'll pass. Maybe. Just stop looking at them. So yeah, life isn't that serious, you edgy middle schooler. No, everything doesn't suck. Stop speaking in absolutes. Just because you don't have the guts to ask your crush out doesn't mean that all women are bad. Just because you think school sucks doesn't mean it's useless. Just because you do nothing with your life doesn't mean everything is worthless and dumb. No, you're worthless and dumb. But even that isn't that big. Actually, I want to hit on that point more. Speaking in absolutes is dumb. Don't do it. Very rarely in life is anything absolute. Sure, sometimes you have a Hitler and you can probably pretty absolute say he wasn't the greatest of people on the planet. That might be a little bit of an absolute. But usually Just because you got your heart broken once doesn't mean love is worthless. Point blank period. Don't point blank period too often. Yeah? So chill out. After you've stopped point blank perioding, you've taken a big step into the next part of the title of this episode. Chill out. We're going to hunt some Yetis, and maybe we'll get a graphics card on the journey. We've established that life isn't that big. Things happen. It sucks. Let them suck, and roll around on the floor crying if you'd like. Go on. I'll wait. With that out of the way, you feel better, yeah? The wave has crashed, the cloud has passed, and now you can laugh at your feeling like a donkey's. Alright, no swearing, not finishing that rhyme. With the understanding, though, that life isn't that serious. I mean, you're here for about 78 years, and with our sleep schedule these days, probably less than that, and then you die. And whether or not you believe there's something after death, life is 78 years. More like 72 in America, I believe, but we'll be a bit conservative in our estimate. Why not? Of that 78 years, you're theoretically, in bold letters, theoretically, spending 1/3 of it, so 26 years, asleep. That leaves us with 52 years. Then we look at human memory. You're probably not going to remember most things in life. You'll probably, if you don't get Alzheimer's disease, remember about 10 years worth of information in total. And memories, if you add all of it up, like just next to each other, by the time you get to your deathbed, many of those memories will be false memories that you made up or misremembered. So you have 10 years of life that you're really going to keep with you, right before you die. And to be honest, that's still being conservative. It's probably less than that, but I just said 10 to be conservative. And also with the 52 years, I mean, I think another third of that, other than sleeping, I think a third of that is spent at your job. So, a lot of those, no, I don't know if it's a third, it's just like a certain amount of years. Like a certain amount of those years are like spent working. And so, like, hopefully you get a job that you like, because that's also going to take up a lot of your effing time. But yeah, that's not very long. 10 years of memories, that's pretty short. Most of you listening, probably all of you listening, have been alive for more than 10 years already. It's not, if you're under 10 years old and you're listening, good for you. I make way too many penis jokes for you to listen to this podcast, but you know what? You do you, all right? But yeah, most of you have probably been alive for more than 10 years. It's not exactly a lot of time in the grand scheme of things, so if you only have 10 years of experience, you're going to remember, chill out. But here's where we get contradictory, because I'm more inconsistent than your favorite YouTuber. Sometimes having memories of being mad, having memories of being sad, we look back on them and laugh, because in hindsight, it's funny. So I'm not going to tell you to always be a sage, although that would be dope. I try to live that life. I want you to live. Don't think about all the tomorrow and what will and what might. Chill out. Stop. No bad. You'll never catch the Yeti like that. Just live. And if you do get mad, chill out. It ain't that big. If you do get sad, be sad for a bit, but chill out. It ain't that big. And hey, since you only have 52 years of life, you're actually gonna live. Here's a way to make it a bit simpler. Don't study something you hate. Don't get a job you don't like unless it's necessary to get a job, or unless it's necessary to do that job in order to get one you do like. Don't hang out with people just to say you hang out with people. Find people you actually like. Don't try. That's really complicated. And I either have or will talk about it more later. I think I have. I'm not sure which episode. Guess you'll just have to listen to all of them and figure it out. But hey, work hard. But take off sometimes. If your pee-pee is hard all the time, you have a problem. And finally, brush your teeth. It's important. Chill out. I wrote here, if you have anything more to say, go for it. But to be honest, I don't know. Whoa, Notion got an update. And the indented bullet points are not... Oh my goodness, how did I never notice this, bro? I'm looking at the script. Oh my... Notion is the greatest thing on the planet. All right, I'm going to get a little bit passionate. Stop chilling. If you don't use Notion, you're living your life wrong. Okay, that's the end of the story. This is a point. That's an absolute. That's a point blank period right there. All right. Look. look, if you go to notion.so and sign up, I don't know who you are, I don't know what you do with your life, but Notion will help you. All right, it absolutely will, completely, I guarantee that for you. All right, Notion is the greatest thing ever. I run my entire life through Notion. All of my school stuff through Notion. All of my effing podcasts and the YouTube channel I'll maybe one day, never, ever, probably, hopefully soon, will record for through the effing Notion. Finances, if I ever have to do finances or think about finances, I do it through Notion. Google Sheets is great, but Notion is better. Kind of. I really wish they added an Excel block that I'll go send them a tweet or something about it. But other than that, also the only thing I guess I don't run through the Notion is my anime, which I do AniList for, and then also I guess my gaming. I don't know what I keep track of for my gaming, but yeah. Also, Genshin Impact had an update a while ago where you could get this really cool effing staff, and I just realized today that there's only one day left to get it, and I was really busy and I never got it, and so I'm kind of screwed now, and I might not be able to max it out, and that makes me a little bit sad. So that kind of sucks, and I have a lot of homework today, so I don't even know if I'll have that much time to effing do it. And I have this podcast. I have you. Look at this. All right, I'm sacrificing my game time for your sake. I hope that you are happy. You better be. All right. Also, Notion. Use Notion. Just do it. All right. Just use Notion. But anyways, back to the point. I guess we all die. We're all gonna die. Well, again, not me. I'm immortal. Honestly, this could have been called Death Part 2, but funnier this time, or so I'm trying. You're gonna die. Honest, you will one day. So whatever you're going through right now, compared to the fact that it's all, it'll all end, everything, it ain't that big. Look. The fact that you failed your test, the fact that your fake friends hate you, the fact that you just finished watching Charlotte and you're gonna die, you're gonna die one day. All right. Some of you will watch Noragami and realize it'll never get a season 3. Now some wounds may heal, but they will leave a scar, like that one. High School of the Dead, Classroom of the Elite. Oh, don't remind me of Hyoka, dude. God. Some scars will always hurt forever. All right. But you know what, whatever. Anime is an exception to every rule, even dying. I'm sure that if there's an anime you want to watch enough, God himself will personally stand your lifespan to make sure you can watch that last episode. But yeah, you're going to die, so chill out. I know that statement isn't exactly coherent or consistent. How are you going to chill out if someone just told you you're going to die? But go listen to the last episode to help hit the point home, I guess, about chilling out. Things work out. I'll tell you some stories that people have shared with me and given me permission to share. I won't go full force into stories because I'd be interested to have some of them on to describe it themselves one day, but we'll see. The first one is about a dude that saw someone he loved die in front of him. Not exactly a great trauma to experience, and it actually happened more than once in his life. But it's 2021 now, and he's doing fine. Recently got a job, and he's doing his best to move forward. Pretty bad thing happened, but he's here now. There was also this cool guy. His name was Andrew Carnegie. He was a simple immigrant to young America. I think he was Irish. He worked for a bunch of small, odd jobs, and he was always on time, and he was very scrupulous and diligent, and slowly made enough to start his own steel business. And with the power of horizontal monopolies, he became worth about $310 billion. And just for comparison, Elon Musk is the world's richest man right now at about 100-something billion dollars. So he pales in comparison to Andrew Carnegie. Things end, life continues, you die. It's not that serious, chill out, breathe. Honestly, I thought I had more stories, but I don't. Kinda. I do have more, but this is a very public forum, and I don't want to tell those things yet because they're heavy, bro. Man, I've heard some things for sure, and I've met some people for sure. But moral of the story is this: just because you felt post-nut clarity doesn't mean you're not going to go rub another one out. It might suck for a moment, but things go on. Chill out. I've started rewatching Seven Deadly Sins. It's pretty great. I'm enjoying it. I'm on season 2. It's gone pretty nice. I think The Morning Show on Apple TV Plus just got a season 2. I'll be watching that soon. After Seven Deadly Sins, though, not sure what I'll watch. There's a lot of anime that isn't done yet that I would like to watch. Tokyo Revengers actually just finished like yesterday, so maybe I'll watch that. Remake Our Life, I really want to watch that. Girlfriend, I think is finished soon, so I'll probably watch that as well. Although the thing about anime like that, like harem anime, I guess, is that they never get a last season where they have an actual ending. Like the anime doesn't. The books, the manga, the light novels, they might, but like it's extremely depressing, and you don't know what's going to happen unless you go read the thing. For example, Quintessential Quintuplets, I think is great. I really like it, but I'm not sure if I'll ever see a last season for it, and that kind of sucks. Granted, I went ahead and I googled like who wins in the end, so I did do that, but whatever. I wish Kaguya-sama got a season 3. That would be fun. I'd also like to see an actual ending for Kaguya-sama. I wonder, I don't know if there would be an ending. I have no idea. I wonder what reading a slice of life manga is like. For anime, it makes sense, but for manga, I feel like it might be weird. Speaking of manga, actually, I read the available 50 chapters for a manga called Jujika no Rokunin. Yeah, it's something like that. Effing American accents, bro. It's really good. Very excited for later installments. I say it's good, but if you don't like gore, it was bad, man. There was some scenes in there. Oh my goodness. It was drawn so well. It was a little bit scarring, to be completely honest with you. But you know what? We get through it. We got through it. I'm very scared at what's gonna happen in the later chapters. It was bad, man. But even then, it's still pretty good. Other than that, I don't really got much. School sucks. Life kind of sucking too, but I'm gonna die one day, so whatever, right? Gotta practice what I preach. But yeah, school is cucking me. I got like an exam on actually, when you're listening to this, I already did one of my exams. When you're listening, when the day this episode comes out, I have a project due and I finished one exam. And so that's going to kind of suck to do all of that. And that will not be fun, but we have to do that. The test is for like circuits and stuff, so I gotta do circuits and stuff. And I mean, I'm not horrible at it, but some of the stuff is really, really effing complicated and hard, the stuff we just covered. And so that part is probably going to completely murder me. I also have homework due for that class that I have to do as well. What else do I got? Today I have to, after I finish this podcast, I have to go do something for my digital fundamental whatever class. And again, that homework for whatever. Maybe if I have time, I'll read the physics textbook. I probably won't have time because I need to go farm that Genshin weapon to the best I can. And yeah, this one was shorter. Honestly, my script wasn't that long for this one. Also, one thing, I mean, at this point, we're just talking for another minute. I don't like Windows. Windows suck. So I really wonder what Mac is like. I'm really very excited for when Apple releases, hopefully, that 14-inch MacBook. I'm very excited to switch over to Mac OS and see how that is. I feel like it's going to be great. I feel like the learning curve might be there a little bit, but once I learn everything, and I'm going to try my best to like actually learn keyboard shortcuts this time. Once I figure it out, I'm sure it'll be sick. And I really, really hope that it has more ports than just like 4 USB-C ports. I hope they like put at least one USB 3.0 in there, and then maybe a HDMI. Maybe not even. I don't really need that. An SD card reader might be sick for a lot of people, but yeah, hopefully we see some USB cable or USB ports. Other than that, I mean, I don't need much more than the USB 3.0 ports. USB-C is cool, but I guess I do have a USB-C dongle, so I guess it wouldn't be that bad. But yeah, even then, it would just be convenient if they made yeah, at least put like two 3.0 USBs on there. But yeah, and also still again very excited to switch to Mac OS, so that'll be fun. It'll take up some of my time, but life. Uh, yeah, but that's all for this episode. Thank you for listening. I think this one's gonna end up being shorter than 20 minutes after I cut it all down. But yeah, thank you once more for listening. I love you. Take it easy. I'll talk at you next week. Life isn't that serious. Chill out. Peace.